Guys, I've been through all 250 of the top movies.
Do you just like all films?
And I couldn't find one that I didn't like.
I feel like there's a film that I know one that you didn't like that I really liked. Cinderella. Like, you really hated it.
Yeah, but that's not critically acclaimed. That was just like everyone left the cinema and they weren't upset.
Or what
Which
if you
Cinderella?
go the other way? The new one.
Oh, the one with Richard Madden.
Yeah. Oh my God, Richard Madden in those trousers.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, please.
The best thing about that movie was seeing the behind-the-scenes footage of how they shot the Beast up against Emma Watson, and then like he's in these stupid
that's Beauty
still.
and the Beast.
That's Beauty and the Beast, Daddy.
Sake.
You literally just said the Beast.
Oh God! Why have Disney remade so many?
To be fair, they are very. I liked Cinderella because it was a fun retelling that didn't try and do too much of like the twisting that Beauty and the Beast. Beauty and the Beast reached a lot. Still cried, still loved it.
Oh.
I'm part of the problem. I've become what I hate.
Yep. I mean, it's an okay movie, Cinderella.
It's alright.
It is,
I wish they'd stop redoing the movies that were really popular and like go back to their troubled catalogue and give them another stab. Like Hunchback of Notre Dame, the music in that film is like the best music in any Disney film. And it's just a garbage movie.
Yeah.
But it's got really good characters, like Esmeralda. Like, they're all good characters.
You could put a really great spin on it. You could put a really good live-action spin on it.
It could be really like bold, because I think the problem it has is like in the music, that's where all like the complex ideas are, and then it just doesn't happen in the actual plot.
Mm.
So like the songs are amazing, and then they stop singing, and it kind of goes a bit wah wah.
Yeah,
so
but the songs
could,
are great.
Just commit. Yeah,
but
I think that could be really cool.
The one thing that scares me most about Disney making these movies again is that Mulan doesn't have a soundtrack.
Yeah, they only have one
Mulan has
song
two
in
good
it.
songs in it though.
Yeah, but
Three?
the songs aren't included.
A Girl Worth Fighting For is like B- at best.
No, I meant Reflection, Honor to Us All, and Be a Man.
Honor to Us All, again, is like...
No, I love that song. No, I shall not have
beads of jade for beauty.
That's the best line of it as well. I sometimes yell that randomly at Julia.
It's just...
I love it.
I don't know. It's not classic Disney fanfare in the way Make a Man Out of You is like top 5 Disney song.
I don't know what example you used. Danny sneezed over it.
I'll Make a Man Out of You.
Right. There's also songs from the second Mulan film that I like.
The second Mulan film is the only like sequel film that I actually really like. I like
right.
That they're like, all the men will have a woman.
Kieran, what sites are you searching now?
I'm just going through lists in IMDb for films that I don't like. And I like so many.
What if you do it the other way round, of films that you liked that you shouldn't have liked?
Listen, I've got 2 lists here, so I'm happy to do both films I hate and also films I love that people hate.
Yes, I can do both.
I'm happy to
Oh,
do
I
both.
wasn't prepared for... Okay,
I've got about 3 films on each list.
I've got a lot of films that I love that people hate.
Okay, I've thought of one. I have one film that is generally well regarded that I don't like.
Okay, let's start with that and see where,
where
the mood takes us.
The second one.
We can see where we get there.
I could think of plenty of shit films that I love.
Yeah, you've got so many. There are so many films.
Let's talk about Evolution again. You guys want to talk about The Mummy?
No, The Mummy is a good film.
Evolution.
Yeah, I know, but we just talk about The Mummy every week. That's the joke.
Wait, is it been a recurring gag that I didn't realise? I just thought everyone was just talking about The Mummy.
You just thought everyone loves The Mummy as much as you do.
No, I've long since accepted that no one loves The Mummy as much as I do, and the world needs more people loving The Mummy. This is why we got nice things.
I'm just really confused. I lost a piece of the equipment, and I'm really annoyed.
Yeah, what have you done?
For what?
For the new thing.
No, there's like, that coney bit.
No, the middle one doesn't have a coney bit.
Why doesn't it have a coney bit?
I don't know.
Well, isn't that it?
No, because it doesn't have a jutty outy
Kieran,
bit.
how have you done
Oh, I have a lockdown anecdote.
Go on.
I was sat at this very desk doing my work, and some teenagers were passing on the street outside, and one of them just stops and does a backflip. A really good one as well.
Fair
So
enough.
random.
Do a
Oh my
backflip.
god. That's amazing.
Kids these days.
Did you shout, do a backflip? Do a backflip.
I didn't. Like, he just
And he
did
just
it.
did
It was
one?
Yeah. it was
Wow, he
crazy.
did one. You didn't even have to say it.
Maybe his friend said it and I didn't hear.
Do a backflip. Hey, you do a backflip.
Have we told you about the roaming singing man we have?
No.
So, I've seen him now, I think, on 4 different occasions. There's a man who just will walk down our road singing at, like, the top of his lungs. Like, one time, actually the most disappointing time, was we'd gone to the bottle bank at Tesco.
Woo!
No, we went to Fuel Up. And he was just there because Kieran I don't think you'd seen him at this, but you hadn't experienced roaming singing man. And he's just walking down and he's singing Stars from Les Mis.
Oh, alright.
And like he's like belting and
That's
it's
a
just
big
about
song.
to get to like it's about to get to the crescendo bit and Kieran starts putting the petrol in, so it starts whirring. So they get him to do the big note. I was so disappointed.
Wow. That's a big song. You need some chops to sing that. It's not
Yeah,
like, it's not just
yeah,
like,
he was-
He's actually got quite a nice voice. I filmed him from my bedroom window.
Do play
as
it,
I
do
watched
play
it. He's actually but he missed the note, which was sad. It was really creepy when I was filming him from my bedroom window. That was a bit much. Here he is.
But the geezer had pipes. Like,
Yeah, he can sing. He can sing.
wow.
That's pretty good.
It's pretty decent.
Is that your neighbour?
I don't know where he comes from. I think this is my his misses the note.
Wow.
Oh.
He misses
Oh
it. He
god,
misses
yeah. He really
Maybe
missed
he's
that
an
there.
opera singer.
I would have really liked
I don't
to.
know.
I would have really liked to hear the Stars song by, from Les Mis. That would have been
it. He
great.
really did. Like
Did he-
he was
did he-
singing it beautifully.
did he reach
and
the
Kieran put
crescendo?
petrol in.
Did he reach the
I don't
crescendo?
know because Kieran put
This
the
I
petrol
swear
in.
by the
It
stars.
was literally like, this I swear by the petrol, and I just couldn't hear anything.
Man.
It was so disappointing. Kieran, do you want to stop fiddling with things?
I wish it. This is gonna anger me. Let's record a podcast.
Yeah.
All right, someone who's not me should be in charge.
Not me.
It was your idea list. You know what?
Was it
Danny
my idea?
hasn't introduced one yet. My mistake.
Danny, do
Go
it.
on, Danny.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. Hello and welcome to the Closed Cinema Podcast. The cinemas are still closed and we are open for business. So I'd like to introduce you to our lovely array of podcasting heroes here. Please introduce yourself.
I would, but I literally have just figured out why. I just figured out what went wrong.
Could
with
you do
my
that all
new
again,
piece
Danny?
Of podcasting equipment.
Just for context, we have got some new podcasting equipment which Kieran has been faffing over for the last 40 minutes. He's Kieran.
Hello.
I'm
Kieran.
Lissa. Please continue with the podcast while Kieran fiddles with things.
No, we can't now. It'll
Just
ruin
took
the
a
quality of the audio.
steaming shit over my intro.
that was like the
Yeah,
best
Danny.
intro
Yeah, Danny.
we've
Why
done.
don't you do the intro for a change?
It was such a good intro.
It's what you guys get for ruining my
I would
show
say
last
it's
week.
in the top 6 of our intros.
Oh, well, that's great. Thanks.
Top
This
6.
is episode,
Wow.
This is episode 6.
Top
Also-
6. This is episode 6. It's definitely in the top.
Also, aren't the cinemas opening in like 2 weeks?
Yeah.
No, well, yeah, ish.
Ish.
Kind of.
They've
How do
pushed.
you guys feel about that?
They've pushed the
I'm not
start
gonna
date
go.
of Tenet back until August, I think, and that was going to be one of the first to open. So, I think they're kind of like, what are we going to do?
Are they going to do anything
Yeah.
about social distancing, though?
Yeah, so there's
Yes.
social distancing measures in place when you get to the cinema, and they have like they have social distancing measures in the cinema, so they're not allowed to have people right next to each other. So there'll be like a couple of spaces, so they can't
Yeah,
operate
like
at
you'll
full
sit in like
capacity.
your family. You'll sit in a family group. So if there's like 5 of you, you'll sit as a 5, and then all the seats around you will be blocked out. From what I understand.
Yeah, and there's going to be like rigorous cleaning apparently between each showing, but I don't know how much.
The thing that I'm confused about is cinemas make the majority of their money through selling popcorn, sweets, drinks.
Popcorn is
if
like the
you're
least
meant
hygienic food.
It's super unhygienic, and people won't be wearing their masks.
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
being in an enclosed space with people not wearing masks is what is the danger. So are they
Yeah.
going to ban food?
Don't go to the cinema. Stay home and listen to podcasts.
Yeah. We'll talk you
watch
through all
Netflix.
the latest releases.
We could tell you the Wikipedia synopsis of the next release. What does it say about Tenet?
Yeah. I'm not going to try and explain Tenet, even when it comes out.
But it's interesting because now it means that Mulan, because I think it's been moved back to the 31st of July, at least as stateside, I'm not sure about over here. But that means that Mulan will now be the first major studio release, and I just
Oh,
can't
alright.
see Disney being the first to do it. I don't think it's their brand. I think they'll push Mulan back because of this.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. But no, the markets where they actually want Mulan to make money, the Asian markets, are already relatively open.
Yes, asterisks. They're starting to have more clusters.
Yeah,
of
Beijing,
outbreaks.
apparently.
What
Yeah.
improv school did you go to where they said, "Okay, everyone, you always say yes, asterisk"?
Because then it
Well, it's not
protects
full of
you
life,
from
Kieran.
any...
No, I'd
It
like to
protects from any
acknowledge
questioning.
Kieran's joke there because that was class.
Thank you.
Good man, good man.
Don't encourage him. He'll get ideas.
Go on, Danny, introduce her.
well,
didn't we? We
well,
introduced ourselves.
okay, so here we go again. Welcome, yeah, something about podcast. I did this earlier, so yeah, hello everyone, and welcome, and yeah, fuck you all.
Hi, I'm Tara.
Great, we're like 6 minutes in.
I think we've established who we are at this point
Yeah.
thoroughly.
Yeah.
I've never
I'm
introduced
Tara.
myself.
We know
actually.
what kind of person Kieran is now, so...
Yeah, and I'm Lissa.
And I'm Spartacus.
No.
So what are we talking about today, guys? I can't even remember.
You're such a good host, Danny.
Discuss. Well, no. Today we are talking about the films that you love to hate, that people love and you hate and they love. Do you get that?
That was really clear, thank you.
Crystal.
I know
Well,
exactly
you are
what we're about to
Yeah.
say.
So I pass it over to the group. What films do you love that people
No.
hate?
No.
Literally the opposite.
Oh.
of that.
No!
Jesus Christ. Who even knows anymore? What is this, amateur hour?
Yeah,
The
this is an
films
amateur
that
podcast.
you hate, but everyone loves?
Correct.
Is
Yeah.
Well done.
well, there we go.
done.
We nailed
10 out of
it.
10.
So, I open it up to the floor. Please discuss.
Since I delayed the podcast by 20 minutes while trying to figure out the film I hate that everyone else loves, I'm ready. I will
Is
bring
it?
that one first. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation is a shit.
Oh, it's so niche. It's so
It's
niche.
a classic. It is a classic.
I've never
Maybe it's
seen
because
it.
Lisa's family really
Yeah, I
desperately
feel like my
liked it.
family is personally under attack here.
Is it
It's a
your
film
dad
we
that
watch
loves
this
it?
during Christmas. Both my parents.
My-
My mum watches it every year and cries with laughter.
My dad
Like, cries.
absolutely loves National Lampoons. I find it funny, but I think there's something about the humour that just captures a generation. I'm not really sure, you know.
Yeah,
I
there are
find it
things
funny,
I
but
find
it's not.
funny in it. I don't ever feel. I don't feel desperate to watch it every Christmas. My parents literally will watch it every
Peak
single Christmas.
Boomer
Yeah.
humour. Like, it's just...
Yeah, actually.
Yeah,
to be
it really
fair,
is.
I can see that.
Boomer
'Cause, like,
humour.
He lives in, like, his house is like beautiful and epic, and then he's sad because he doesn't get a bonus because he wants to build a pool.
Something
And he's
that-
like, I didn't have
Aw.
a bonus. I wanted to build a pool at my house.
I want my participation trophy.
Also, it's weird watching Chevy Chase now knowing how much of a dick he is.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
my main problem with it, actually. The reason I hate it is because Chevy Chase is such an reportedly terrible bloke,
Yeah.
and he reportedly ruined Community, and I think I find his character really annoying and terrible in Community as well, and just he's this sort of SNL legend, and I just cannot see how he deserves his status. And every time I look at him, I get angry.
He is funny. He is funny though.
I don't think he is.
Have you ever seen Three Amigos?
No.
I
very
love
funny in
Three
that.
Amigos.
It's so
such a
funny.
good film. It is such a good film.
It's so silly.
It's the one that I think is always on like ITV when you least expect it, and it's kind of always on. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
it's just constantly on. You'll just turn on
Is
ITV
that
and it'll
and-
be there.
It's that and Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban every time.
Yes, yeah. I also think like Shaun of the Dead is on quite a lot on like ITV or like Channel 4 or something. It's just always on.
Yeah.
You just buy it
All right.
back
Well, now
to back.
we're having a Chevy Chase loving because of I wanted everyone to slam Chevy Chase with me.
Well, that was niche, but no one's going to slam Chevy Chase that much. I do find him mildly annoying, and yes,
don't
he
think he's a
did
good
ruin
person.
Community, and that pisses me off. But
Yeah, I'm not
I don't-
condoning him as a person. I'm just saying the reason he got so big is because he is very funny. Like him or not, he's a funny guy.
Yeah.
Not condoning what he's done, but that's how he got the places he got to.
I just don't think he's funny.
That and he's a white male.
Nice.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, that's true.
Excellent bait and switch.
Thank you.
Tar,
Thank you.
Tar, what you got? What you got for us? Come on, give us something juicy.
Cheeky.
Come on,
right.
I said juicy, but you can provide us with something cheeky also if you fancy it.
Yeah, my choice is fine. My film doesn't have Chevy Chase. Don't worry about it, Kieran. It's fine. I've
Good.
gone for.
What do you mean it doesn't contain Chevy Chase?
Oh, I didn't know that was the rules that we had to pick.
I specifically said at the start films that you love that include Chevy Chase, films that you hate that people love including Chevy Chase. I said that. I laid it out
Yeah, and I
pretty
said it was
clearly.
You
really
still don't have the rules clear in your own head, Danny.
Anyway, Danny, shut the fuck up. I pick Iron Man.
What?
Oh.
What?
Like you actually, you hate it.
Not with a passion, but I would never choose to watch Iron Man.
What?
Okay.
What? Just Iron Man
interesting.
1 or Iron Man 2?
All of
and
them.
3?
Iron Man 2 and 3.
Would you? What would
But do you
rank
like
them?
him in the other films? Do you like him in Civil War?
You look so serious.
Rank
You got closer to the camera, like.
No,
yes,
it's because I'm trying to talk into the microphone, which is here. We spent ages faffing around with this like sound blocking thing. I'm going to try and use it.
Okay.
Therefore, I'm speaking like this into the microphone.
But I mean,
but
you
also,
sound
Tara, Iron Man.
Iron Man, yeah. So no, it's not the character. I like him in all the other Avengers, all of those. Great character. But him on his own, I find fundamentally boring. I never got into those stories, never enjoyed them. That would be... I would
boring.
probably watch Incredible Hulk before I watch Iron Man.
You find them what boring? You find them what boring? What did you say? You find them...
Fundamentally.
Take off the dementally, and that's what they are.
Oh! Okay.
I do like.
They're great
I
movies.
can
Apart from the second one.
sympathise with Tara's position because, like, Iron Man is amazing because of what it started, not necessarily because what it is.
I think Iron Man is a good movie.
I think the
it
first
makes
one
some
really
It
is.
has some decent commentary in it. I
I-
feel like his character goes through a whole lot of growth. I mean, yeah, the bad guy's a bit generic, but I think I'd understand almost not liking the Iron Man movies because of Tony Stark's character, because he's kind of like a know-it-all. I understand that, but I'm surprised that you'd find them boring. The second one is very, very weak. I wasn't actually huge with the third one, but maybe I'm just objecting to the first one. Because the first one's pretty solid. It
The
holds
first
up.
one is great. I think it's just a great movie in general. I don't think like even if it didn't spawn this whole kind of sort of Marvel saga, I think on its own, standalone, and if it was just that film, it's a pretty good movie. Like I really like it.
Yeah, I disagree. I never engaged with it. I only watch it in the context of if I'm watching all of them.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
I do think if you watched 20 other Marvel movies and then watched Iron Man, you would be like, well, this is just this, like...
But all the first ones are really ropey when you look back. They had no idea what they were doing up until like Winter Soldier, that they pulled it together.
Winter Soldier is still one of my favourites.
Yeah.
It's
Winter
so good,
Soldier
but that like
is still one
set
of
the
my
tone.
favourites.
They're like, Russo brothers, fair enough, this is what
Yeah.
our tone is now. But before, like, the first Avenger, that movie is terrible.
Yeah.
That was our first date.
Yeah.
Aw.
First Avenger.
And it is a bad movie.
It was, and I was really annoyed that the movie was bad.
Wow. Yeah.
See, I like that movie. A lot of people don't. I
I
always
think it's
liked
pretty
it.
good.
I think we
Maybe
can
I'm
all
just a cat
agree
girl.
that the worst one was Thor: Dark World. That was
Oh,
the
God.
It was
worst
so
one.
not memorable, but again, like I said last week, I'm fairly sure I watched it whilst drunk with Tara.
Yeah, I can't remember it either, so probably yeah.
The only,
We should
only-
probably
only
do that
way to get
again.
through it. Only
I
way to
know.
get through it. Okay, well, I mean, that's pretty controversial. But, I mean, we've gone from Chevy Chase to Iron Man. Not
Which
the most,
is more
you know,
controversial, you know.
not the most logical or, expected of segues. But, over to you, Liz. What are you gonna give
Solid
us now?
hosting, Danny, I must say.
Bring it full circle.
So, this is something where, when I've said this before, I have had a lot of hate towards me, but this was closer to the time of its release. I'm hoping that with a little bit of hindsight and consideration, that maybe
If she says evolution, I'm leaving the podcast.
maybe I won't be as roasted
Okay.
for it.
Say the Scorpion
I hate-
King.
Oh no, love it. The Rock and the Mummy, gotta love it.
Oh,
No, I hate Inception.
what?
Oh.
Oh my god.
I
Wait.
hate Inception.
Bum bum.
That is the only thing I like about it. I like, okay, look, 3 things I like about it. I like the music. The music's great. I like the fact that Joseph Gordon-Levitt is in it, because I like him in any movie. And I like the one scene where Joseph Gordon-Levitt is kind of doing a fighty thing and the room's turning.
Oh, that
Apart from
is
that,
good.
I think the movie is garbage and I hate it.
I'm having
What?
the reaction you had to me about me hating Iron Man. Like, what the hell,
What are
man?
you on about?
What the hell, man?
Honestly,
What?
It just-
Explain yourself!
if
It's
this,
just...
if
It
this,
feels like, you know, like whenever they make the joke in like The Simpsons where it's like, oh, that car was like one day away from retirement. It just feels like, oh, he's coming back for one last job because of his doing it for his wife or kids or some crap. And it's just, I found it fundamentally very, very boring. I didn't think the
Like Iron
concept. Yeah, I just found the
take
concept
off the
like really,
dementally.
like, it's really pleased with itself, and I struggle a lot with Christopher Nolan films apart from the Batman films because they're all just a bit timey-wimey and smug with themselves. I had the same problem with Dunkirk. Visually amazing, soundtrack was great. I don't know why you had to tell it in a non-linear way. It added nothing to the story. So that's kind of where I lie with Inception. That it's a dumb idea that never got any less silly, no matter how serious Leonardo DiCaprio's face was at the time. Especially when I get to like the third level of Inception, which is just like, it's so dumb when you talk about it. Like, oh, this is the first layer of Inception, then the second. You have to keep jumping
It's
down
not
the rabbit
layers
hole.
of Inception, it's layers of dreams.
A dream within a dream.
Yes, and the goal is Inception.
I mean, like, okay, this concept of like dreams within a dream. You know what other film did that? Sucker Punch. And do I have more fun with Sucker Punch? Yes, I
Oh, I
do.
love Sucker Punch. I know
I
it's
love
shit.
Great
but
sound.
Yeah,
I should have said that. I should have said that one.
No, but everybody
love
hates
Sucker Punch. I know everyone hates it,
Sucker
but I
Punch.
love it.
I love Sucker Punch.
Stylistically,
We'll
it's
get-
so
we'll get-
great.
We'll get to Sucker Punch.
Can we
but
do a whole
I
podcast
hate
on
it.
Sucker Punch?
Yeah, can we actually? I love Sucker
after
Punch.
we say all our films, do a quick fire round of stuff that we love and everyone hates? Yeah.
Yes.
Sure.
But- Yeah, it irritates me that when they get to the third dream layer, that like it's on like for some reason it's on a mountain and like everyone's wearing white fur coats or some shit, so you can't even see them. It's just stupid. It's stupid and it's annoying and it's pleased itself and it's smug. And I don't like films that are like, nah, look at me. Same reason why I hate Interstellar.
So
I
you're
find that my sense watching Inception is that the filmmakers made decisions based on like a set of rules that they have.
No,
And that is why
it just
the things
it
are
feels
happening.
like some like fat men in a room like wanking off, being like, oh, this idea is so good, it's gonna blow their fucking minds. I hate it. It's so smug and pleased with itself. Interstellar is exactly the same. Love the first third of Interstellar when the dynamics between the father and the daughter, that's awesome. Everything else is like, it's so clever, Matt Damon's here now. It's just so annoying.
Oh yeah, I forgot he was in that. I haven't seen
Oh,
Interstellar
yeah.
in ages.
It's so pleased with itself, and I just don't like smug movies.
Yeah, I mean, I love Interstellar so much, but they kind of lost me when the main robot thing looks like a Kit Kat.
I love Kit Kat.
If
I
a
love
Kit Kat
Minecraft
could run, that's how it would
It's
run.
almost where I tapped out. It's like, that fucking thing looks like a Kit Kat. Were you expect me to think that this is in the future? We've got Kit Kat robots running around now, have we?
I
No,
would
when
say
he's able...
it seems
Sorry,
like
go ahead, Tara.
you think Inception is pretentious and Interstellar. Fair enough.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
think I'm not as big a fan of Interstellar because sort of the same reason. I never was engaged with it because it just seemed really douchey, and then it got really boring. But with Inception, I think because of not just the story and like the twists of how dreaming works, but the character and the style just made it for me. Like, did you say you like that fight scene with Joseph Gordon in
Yeah,
the
that
hallway?
is genuinely
But
really
I like
impressive.
the whole thing because they got the slow-mo, the music, all this other crazy stuff happening you've never seen before. That's what made it feel original, exciting to me.
I feel like you can make a really good drinking game out of whenever they cut to the van falling very slowly. It's just like, and you'd get trashed.
If you
because he just looked like,
waterfall,
look, they're in a dream still. They're in the van. Look, time works different in dreams, and time works different on planets. I hate it.
This is so
Fundamentally-
controversial.
I think it did something clever because people love movies where they heist something. And heisting someone's brain is such a cool idea.
It's
even
so
if the
dumb and
execution is
But
flawed.
like, just that. Can you imagine the pitch meeting? They walk in and they're like, guys, we're gonna heist someone's brain, and all the men pat each other on the back.
How do you think they got the movie made? They inceptioned the shit out of the studio execs to make them think
Like,
it was a great idea to make the film.
Of course, it's like, oh, but he's a troubled man. It's always a troubled man with his wife. Oh my god.
Leo's
And at the end, when the thing is spinning and it's like, oh, is it gonna fall? Is it not? I was like, I don't care. I don't want him to be happy. I don't want him to have his kids. He doesn't deserve happiness.
I agree with Danny's point exactly.
The defence rests, Your Honour.
To be fair, I can't argue back against that. That is a very solid argument.
It's the only point to make,
I
really.
love Inception.
What about you, Daddy?
Oh,
was your pick?
well, my phone has just died, which is the perfect opportunity to tell you mine, because I can't remember it. I can. Okay, here's mine. Anything by Baz Luhrmann. Just fuck that guy. Honestly. Moulin Rouge, what the fuck? Romeo and Juliet.
I'm looking up all the films right now.
Absolute bullshit.
I think Liv's about to be sick.
No, it's
Great-
one of those things
Great
where
Gatsby. What the... Honestly. All
Oh my god,
movies
he
are
made Australia!
terrible.
That's
Terrible.
mad.
Australia. 4-hour movie. That what? Australia. Yeah, great.
Okay,
you
let
know
me
how we're gonna do it the other way around of like movies everyone hates that we love. I would put both Moulin Rouge and Australia on that list.
Oh,
I
for
fucking
God's
love
sake.
those movies.
So
They're
just to remind
good.
everyone, Baz Luhrmann made Strictly Ballroom in 92, Romeo and Juliet in 96, Moulin Rouge in 2001, Australia in 2008, Great Gatsby in 2013.
Yeah, and all of them are wank.
Great Gatsby is really bad. Like,
Great
it's just
Gatsby
boring.
is really bad. But Moulin
Yeah.
Rouge, oh my god, what the hell is that shit? I spent 2 hours thinking, honestly, what goes on in this guy's man? I think that he literally took like a pill before he wrote that script and was like, this will be funny if I just merge all these songs together, and
No,
then
he said it a lot faster.
I'll throw the...
Oh,
it'd be so funny if I merge all these songs together, and I'll throw the camera around so much that you don't even know what's going on for half the movie.
But they do that for the first half, and then it slows down.
You like colour?
and
You like
that's-
colour? I'm gonna put every fucking colour in the spectrum in this piece of shit.
Jim Broadbent sings the show.
Oh,
Must Go
God.
On.
Oh,
My
God.
heart is like destroyed. I will still argue
Ah.
Nicole Kidman's best ever performance. She's great in that movie.
That bit when
The bit when like ahead, sorry.
when Jim Broadbent is singing at the start. Honestly, that whole bit in the Moulin Rouge at the start, I honestly wanted to throw up and vomit. It made me feel so seasick and like motion sick. I was just like, what is going on? Oh my god, every single sense is being assaulted.
I love it. I think apart from the bit at the end where Ewan McGregor literally like goes on stage while Nicole Kidman is performing /
Oh
dying,
yes, that end bit. Oh god.
throws money at her
What's
and
the-
goes, "I paid my whore." Like that is terrible, but also I kind of love it.
What's the song? There's a big song at the end, isn't there? Like,
Oh, they have their own song called "Come What May."
come what may. Yeah, that's
Which
the one.
I still love that song. I think it's a fun bit. Like the first kind of 30 minutes are very frenetic and crazy and dreamlike, but then it kind of settles down and it has like a real dark edge to it. Like the whole sequence with Roxanne, that's great.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
the fast cuts to every single beat. That his style works really well
Yeah,
there.
I know.
But also, I can't pretend that it's a good movie. If people want to hate it, I totally get
No,
why.
but people do love it though, and like you know,
I'm indifferent about the film, but I'm very happy that it spawned the song Moulin Rouge with Christina Aguilera and those guys.
Oh
What a
my
song.
god, Lady Marmalade! That song is so
Yeah.
good!
my girlfriend Catherine, she, for the people who are listening to this, she absolutely loves it. It's one of her favourite films. I can't stand it. She made me
So,
wa-
okay.
she made me watch it. She was like, "You're gonna love this. You're gonna love this." I was like, sitting there like, "Oh my god, what is this absolute bullshit? What is this sort of visual diarrhea on my screen?"
Visual
So one-
diarrhea, 'cause not
one
only
pro-
diarrhea is not visual.
Well, as opposed to verbal diarrhea. I guess it was. I guess it was colourful diarrhea, artistic diarrhea.
You normally have to eat beetroots for that.
But yeah, I know that a lot of people love it. So that's my kind of one.
What do you think of that Romeo and Juliet? That's the only one I care about.
I don't mind it. I don't mind it. It's probably one of his better ones.
Yeah,
So
I like
one point pro Romeo and Juliet. Without it, we wouldn't have got Leo. That's
Mhm.
pretty big.
He was in things before that. That
It
was
was
his
the-
breakout role. He was a
His
child
breakout
actor.
role was like What's Eating Gilbert Grape, I
Yeah.
think.
Great,
that's what
yeah.
it is.
Oh, okay. Well, then there's no points pro.
I think he
and
might have.
1 point.
I think he might have
con,
even got an Oscar nomination for that, and he was like quite young.
because Leo was so attractive.
Yeah.
In that
Oh,
film,
he's devastating. In
there
that
were
film.
way too many teenage girls who thought they got Shakespeare because of
I was
watching
one of
Romeo
them.
plus Juliet. Yeah, and none of you get it.
Actually, I think it's a really. It's very much of its time, but it was a really good adaptation of like bringing it to what was then like a modern setting.
Yeah.
I really like it. Like I love the opening monologue, and they kind of cut it in between, like kind of shots of like of LA, like the city, and like it being a news report.
I mean, Fair Verona.
It looks really cool. I like the little details, like the guns say like sword on the side of it or something. Like
Yeah.
it works. Like Romeo and Juliet is not the most interesting of Shakespeare's plays, but therefore it makes it, I think, the easiest to adapt because there aren't as many themes going on as in something
You don't
more
have to
complex.
have as many ghosts and witches' curses. And
Yeah, and like, it doesn't need to have as many layers, but I think he draws out the really good. He kind of amplifies the things that are good in the play, like the connection between the men, and like that works really, really well. But it is also bonkers, and if you don't like his editing style, which is very abrasive,
It's
I
a
get
headache.
why you wouldn't like
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
It is a headache a lot of the time.
Valuable in that it made, like what you're saying about going corner on the deal. But
yeah.
they were also engaging in Shakespeare, and like for me, that was the fact I was like properly interested in Shakespeare. Like I never really got it at school, and it just made it accessible and kind of cool for younger people. I think at the time.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, it was the Richard III manga that I read. That shit was
Obviously,
dope.
that was one of what I was going to say.
Oh, dear. I want Baz Luhrmann to remake Shakespeare now. I just want him to make different Shakespeares. I'd like to see him do a Macbeth.
Just anything that's more, because Romeo and Juliet isn't hugely complex. Like, if you did Coriolanus or just something that was like a little bit weirder,
Yeah.
But I think we were all at some point made to watch it in secondary school.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And just, we all watched
watched
it.
it.
But what was good about the adaptation is that Romeo and Juliet sometimes gets dismissed as something that only girls like because it's a love story, and actually the majority of the interaction is between the guys. And I like the adaptation because it made teenage boys like Shakespeare, at least in the class I was in, because it was cool. They had guns, they had cars, like it made it cool.
Probably the purchase of Hawaiian shirts probably went up after that film was released.
But I guess I'm kind of with Danny, because if we're dismissing Inception because everyone who was making it was too pleased with themselves, we also have to dismiss Lerman's entire cinema.
No, but I feel like he leans into like, this is absurd and I know it. Like he acknowledges the fact that he's gone too far. No one is holding back Nolan. He is high on his own supply and is like, he believes he's making art.
I dropped my mic.
Art.
I don't know for how long, guys.
Baz Luhrmann is just making something that is self-indulgent and he knows it.
I would describe Baz Luhrmann's way of if I don't know, if Christopher Nolan is sort of like a Renaissance artist, then Baz Luhrmann is like Jackson Pollock.
It's like if
There's a bit of art
Christopher
reference
Nolan is just whiskey in a glass, in a cut glass, and it's like anyone who drinks that is a knobhead. Baz Luhrmann is, you know, when you go to Spoons and
he's a Blue Lagoon.
Get a Blue Lagoon.
He's a Blue Lagoon.
I love a Blue Lagoon.
Exactly, but you have too much of it, it's bad for
It's
you.
so great.
It tastes artificial, but you're having a good time.
Yeah, you don't know whether you've got a headache from the sugar or the or the colouring or
everything's moving too fast.
I used to day drink those at what was the bar that was right by Kane's?
K-Bar.
K-Bar.
Yeah, K-Bar.
Yeah.
Blue Lagoon.
That's my drink of choice.
You could get a pitcher of Blue Lagoon in a Spoons for about £4.50 or something like that. It's ludicrous.
I mean, I think that metaphor is like,
I think that's
never
great.
Gonna beat that.
Yeah, I think that's a great metaphor. That is a great metaphor.
Thank you.
And National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation would be drinking a bucket of piss. We all agree.
I'm currently working on my book comparing directors to different cocktails. Coming never.
Well, I think all of our contributions are valid. I think there's a lot of people love the films, a lot of people hate the films, and that was the point of the podcast.
Yeah, and we're no longer friends now because
exactly. And whatever credibility this podcast had, if any, is completely shattered and gone.
Because everyone knows you have to have the same opinions or you're not allowed on the internet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, we've hit rock bottom, guys, so the only way's up.
So now, let's segue to films you hate, you love. Oh, Jesus Christ, someone take over.
You nearly got it.
You love, but people
Everyone
hates. Is that what we're doing now?
Let's start with Sucker Punch. Like,
here
everyone,
we go.
I love it.
Free ride on
I
Sucker Punch.
love Sucker
Oh.
Punch
love
so much. I love everything about it.
And it introduced us to Oscar Isaac. I mean,
Oh my god, yeah, that's him.
yeah. Like,
I love
Oh,
everything.
yeah.
I love the overindulgent slow-mo. I love the outfit. I know I should hate them because it's like so like misogynistic and sexist, but I love it.
Yeah.
Like the bit where she's in the little like Japanese schoolgirl outfit and she's got swords. Love it.
I love
She's got
it.
the mech with a bunny on it.
Oh, it's so cool.
It's such a cool film, and stylistically, it's amazing. And it did sort of spawn. I mean, it's Zack Snyder, isn't it? So it did kind of spawn the kind of sort of speed ramping, you know, like where it goes slow mo and then fast and then slow mo again, like what he does on like 300. It was.
I love it. It's a fun time every time. It's so dumb. Like again, it has the dreams within a dream thing, which is so stupid, and none of if you think about it, it all falls apart. But it's just so the bit where Vanessa Hudgens is like in a helicopter with like a giant gun, and they're in this weird like World War II style.
There's
battle.
Nazi things with like the gas masks and stuff, right?
It's
They're
so
zombies or
good.
something.
Oh, yeah. Stylistically, it's so weird, but it's
And
great.
there's the guy in it who looks like Spock but isn't Spock.
Yeah, can I ask,
yeah,
when was the last time you watched it? Because I haven't watched it in maybe like 7 or 8 years.
I think last time I watched it was at uni,
Yeah.
again with Tara, I think, drinking.
I think that might have been the last time I watched it as well. I haven't watched it since, but I'm pretty sure that it's not a good like it's not a good movie, but it is a good movie. It's like one of those where you know it's bad, but it is really good.
If Nolan is whiskey and Lerman is doing is drinking a
Blue
Lagoon, then Sucker Punch is doing a tequila suicide where you eat the lemon and then just pour the tequila in your eye.
Yeah,
You get the benefit.
Cider, yeah.
You get the
Yeah, it's
benefit, but it hurts.
But it feels so good.
But it's not comfortable for anyone. It's so true. It's so true. All right. Well,
I
love it. Love Sucker
Alright,
Punch.
that was that pig.
I mean, I was going to pick Australia, but I feel like we've thoroughly gone down that Baz Luhrmann hole. The other one I was going to pick, which you guys know full well that I love, is Showgirls.
Ah, what
It
a
was
film.
only a matter of time.
I adore
Who
that
had
film.
6 episodes for time it took for Lisa to mention Showgirls?
I love it.
I had
the
I had 8.
restraint I had to hold myself. The other day, Showgirls came on Netflix, and I so far have not suggested it in our movie watching
Oh
thing,
my God.
because I don't want to put people through it again, because I've made you all watch it so many times already.
I want it.
But I still love it.
Give
what
me
else
it.
could you possibly gain from that film list?
I want it. I want to watch it again.
I find something new in it every single time. It's like a treasure
it's
trove.
pretty much like every other line is quotable.
I
will
like-
say that.
Yes.
I like to point the exact moment. Like I'm still trying to get it. Like down to a second. I want to get it down to a frame when I realise that the writer and the director have just given up. Like I want to get the frame where I'm like, that's it, that one there. They're done. They
I
don't
can
give
tell
a
you,
shit about
it's-
it anymore.
It jumps the shark within the first act of the movie.
Oh yeah, when she gets to that guy's car and then like is gonna stab him or something.
Yeah, and the bit where like she runs into the road when she's confused, she gets dragged back and then vomits everywhere, and then this girl buys her dinner, and like
And then
she's
she
angry.
throws the dinner on the floor.
She's like, oh, different places. It's just she's angry at everyone.
Yeah, man.
And then when they cut to I've watched this film so many times. When they cut to her trailer, which I'm assuming that Nomi's living in rent free, and they argue over who finished the last bag of chips because that's what girls do. Love it. And her nails are hideous, and they can be like, oh, you're so good at doing your nails, and they're hideous. It's a brilliant.
Were they
movie.
making
There's
were
so
they
much
making
doggy
it up
chow.
as they were filming it? Were they just like, yeah,
On the
let's
spot,
just do a
yeah.
scene where they argue over a bag of crisps because we've got nothing left?
Now
I
throw the
like-
crisps on the ground.
I would really appreciate for Showgirls if they made a sort of disaster artist kind of.
Yeah.
I want to know
But
how
yeah,
it got
I want- 'cause
made. I want
the
names.
most expensive spec script ever. Like, that is fascinating. Someone on a piece of paper that just said, movie Las Vegas dancer titties, and they sold it.
Titties was definitely on
Like-
that.
So many, like, it was like Charlize Theron was up for it, Angelina Jolie, like so many famous people, which actually is now hilarious when you think about the movie, because they refer to like, oh, we could have got anyone, we could have got LaToya, we could have got so and so, and they didn't. Like, no one famous is in that movie apart from the one guy from Sex and the City.
Oh yeah, and
I thought he
yeah,
was from
is that the guy
Desperate
from Twin
Housewives.
Twin Peaks?
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, Carl McLaughlin or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That must be terrifying if you're an actor. If your agent's calling you up and be like, yeah, it's going to be big, they got a lot of people on board, and you could just be walking into a Showgirls.
Yeah.
You could be the only famous person in a trash
Because
movie.
they
But he
could say
wasn't
like
even
we've
that famous.
because they could say we've got Tom Cruise lined up, we've got such and such actor, and then they all pull out, and then you're the only famous person in the movie, and it's a bomb.
It's
and
a
it's
terrific
also
film.
terrible.
But like the joy it has brought me has been endless.
I
So-
would be
yeah,
I
I'm
would be up
hoping
for
for
watching
you.
it again. I'm always up for watching it.
I feel I can't put any more people through it, and looking at Tara's expression.
No,
I
you
think
know,
she
like
agrees with
sometimes
me.
where pain actually is
About
quite
them.
nice. Like you quite enjoy it. You quite enjoy pain. Yeah. So when you stub your
Yeah.
toe, it hurts, but you're like, oh, at least I can feel something.
Wow, Danny.
Okay.
And okay. Well, uh, okay, so over to you, Tar. What's your?
I don't have a film.
You don't
I
have a
wasn't
film
told
at all?
about this beforehand, so
Oh.
I'm sorry. I'm ill prepared.
Alright.
I'll refer you to my WhatsApp yesterday.
All right, Kira.
No!
What you got, for us?
I've got one.
What you
And
got for us?
everyone who's seen it is going to be visibly angry with me when I mention it. But I really enjoyed Eurotrip.
Oh,
I love that film!
yes.
Yeah, that was
It's
funny.
so
Yes.
funny!
Oh, cool. Okay, fine then.
The peop-
Scott Pilgrim.
Oh,
I was
Yeah.
surprised Lissa didn't say that for the one that everyone
Yeah.
loves. And
That she
because
hates.
I've tried so hard to forget that movie.
Oh, I love it.
I had just forgotten that movie, and you just brought it back up. I'm so mad. I hate that movie so much. It's so fucking pleased with itself.
What is this arbitrary test of self-pleasure?
Yeah, but
that
how
keep
can you say
applying?
that
I
Baz-
don't like it when movies think they're better than me.
Yeah, but Baz Luhrmann, I feel like Baz
Wow.
Luhrmann like knew what he was doing. He was like, yeah, they're gonna love this. Lap it up. Look all this colour. Yes.
But there's a level of self-awareness which Scott Pilgrim does not have.
I
It's just like, this is so fucking funny and cool and meta and like, it's just so pleased with itself. It's like, it's Gen X in a way that it shouldn't be. Like, it's too late to be a Gen X movie.
Oh gosh. Oh
I
gosh.
feel like it's a film about being like the lesson is Scott Pilgrim should not be so pleased with himself. The film is about
But they changed the ending, so he ends up with the hot girl.
yes, that was a mistake.
The whole message of the whole
Is
point
you're
of the
unique.
comic.
You know, yeah. The whole end battle, isn't it? About like finding himself and like. I do
Yeah,
agree
it's
with that. It's
about-
like about finding, being okay with himself, and then he just runs off with a hot girl. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a mistake.
That
I
was
appreciate that.
But the film itself, I think, is excellent. I think it's so good. I think stylistically, it's incredible. I don't think that it's, I don't think it. No, I don't think it. I don't think Edgar Wright making it was like really pleased with himself. I think it was a car crash to make, if anything. From like,
Guys, Eurotrip's on Netflix.
get on it,
Yay!
I haven't seen that in so long.
get on it. I love,
All right, so
I love that movie.
agree to disagree about Scott Pilgrim, but Eurotrip, we all agree.
Eurotrip
Okay.
is
Yeah,
quality.
that's fun.
You definitely couldn't make it today, but
Oh
that's
no.
fine.
I think it's something we all watched it when we were like 13, 14, right?
Yeah, exactly. Because our immature humour loved it, so it's good now forever.
Yeah, that's the one with Matt Damon at the start? Scotty doesn't know.
Yeah,
Scotty
Daddy
doesn't
know.
Yes, what a banger.
I definitely learned to play that on guitar when I was a teenager.
Scotty doesn't know. Love it. Love it.
It's great. They've really worked hard on the humour. It is just a long series of stereotypes, which is obviously terrible, but they're also very, very funny.
Yep.
Um,
I don't actually remember any of the jokes, but I do remember it just being like, one sort of like stereotype punchline after another.
I do remember one time getting it from Blockbuster, and rather than it being Eurotrip, it was Road Trip.
Oh,
which is a
yes.
way
What?
worse movie.
I got another one for
It's
you.
really bad.
Rat Race.
I love
Anyone
that
remember?
film.
Yeah. I mean, it's all of these films were like kind of all around the same time, weren't they? Rat Race, Road Race, whatever,
Road
Eurotrip, Road
Have
Trip,
you not seen Rat Race, Liz?
Rat Race.
Is that the one with like all the people trying to get money in
Yeah.
cars and shit?
Yeah.
Yeah. It has Rowan
And
Atkinson in it, I think.
like not something that was like a staple of my childhood.
It has loads of people in it, and they're all like trying to get to one
Is
side
Whoopi
of it.
Goldberg in it?
Yeah.
Yes,
And John
yeah.
Cleese.
And John Cleese.
Okay,
Yeah,
in which
John
case
Cleese
it's
is
worth
right.
watching.
Yeah.
Oh wow,
Well-
star-studded.
I'm up for watching Eurotrip. Okay, we got Eurotrip, Sucker Punch, Showgirls. All right, well, we got this. We've nailed
We
it.
did a podcast.
We're making plans for
We're
our
making
weekend.
plans. We're making plans for the weekend, guys. We're in a lockdown. All right, this is a lockdown, and we have to make plans.
It's Sucker Punch on Netflix.
I really
Continue.
hope so. I really hope so. Well, if no one's got anything, has anyone got anything else to say? Would you like to do a quick fire round? We love to end our podcasts with a quick fire. So, over to you. I was going to go with I love, and I know that people don't like it, and it's one that we've watched before. I like Angels and Demons. I do. I do.
Yeah.
I enjoy it. It reminds me of
trash.
a great family holidays in Rome, and I just love it. I think it's a great movie. I think it's good. I think it's underrated. There, I said it.
The film is trash, but I love it. Gods of Egypt.
Oh,
I love
yes.
Gods of Egypt.
Oh, yeah.
I've never
What
gotten
a
through more than
hot
10 minutes.
That
so
is
I can't
another
judge
one,
it,
isn't it?
really.
That,
I love Gods of Egypt. I think I've only actually seen it the one time at the cinema, and we had a great time. It was so fun.
I've got
Just-
Go.
Gold Rush with Matthew McConaughey. Is it Gold Rush or something?
is that the one with is it like
Kate Hudson. and
Blake?
Matthew
Oh,
McConaughey.
Kate Hudson. Yes, yeah.
Yeah, that is quite a bad film, but I very much enjoy it. Same reason as Danny, though. It just reminds me of the Caribbean, and it's just a good time.
Yeah, it just reminds you of something, doesn't it? I did have another one, but I can't remember it. So
Great.
Alright. I've got one. Me and Lissa watched it the other day. People are constantly memeing this film and making fun of it, but it is just a solid adventure movie. National Treasure.
I had a good time with
yes,
that.
yes,
That's a
yes.
fun movie.
yes,
Like,
yeah.
People hate on it constantly, but it's quite good.
I watched it for the first time, and I was like, I am into
I
this
like
movie.
it. Yeah, it's a good movie. Is
It's
that the
fun.
one? With,
It's fun and dumb.
it's the first one with Sean Bean, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Love it. Good movie. Good movie. There's actually a Dan Brown novel that is very, very similar to that movie, and they wanted to make the Dan Brown movie, but National Treasure got made like around about the same time, so they didn't go through with it. So it's like one of the Dan Brown movies that hasn't been made and probably won't be made
Because it's literally National
because
Treasure.
it
Okay,
literally
so-
is the premise of National Treasure. It's like about the Illuminati and like the founding fathers of America and stuff. So yeah.
Damn, alright.
All right.
No, that was my quick fire films that I love that everyone hates.
I feel like I have so many bad films, but they're normally like just really bad Netflix rom-coms. It's like most of them. Also, does Independence Day count as a bad film? Because I love that
No,
film, but a lot of
no.
people don't.
I'd say it's a good film.
I don't think it's of its time kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, if you showed that to someone now, they would be like, that's terrible. But if they'd seen it in the 90s, I think they'd like it.
Yeah, one of my friends had never seen, or one of my close friends had never ever seen it, because I think her dad was like, "Oh, it's a really bad film. Don't see it." And I said to her, "Yes, it is a bad film. Go in with the knowledge of that and have fun with it." And she watched it. She's like, "I love it because it's so big and preposterous and dumb. I can't argue that it's like a perfect storm of everything shouldn't work, but everything does. Like, it is an actual good movie, but like he's tried that gimmick again and again and again, and it's never worked in the way it did for Independence Day. I watch that film every year, sometimes twice a year.
Yeah.
That's
God.
your National Lampoon Christmas thing.
I could, if I tried really hard, I could probably do the entire speech he gives
Wow.
at the end.
Let's
Like,
save that one for
"Today's
another
our
podcast."
Independence Day, and like the guy in the helmet who salutes gets me every time. It's so funny. Anyway, yeah.
Too bad they didn't make a sequel, eh?
Yeah, it's a shame. They should have
It's a
made a
shame.
sequel.
They should have made one with Jeff Goldblum and one of the Hemsworth twins.
No, that's
It's
crazy
so-
and terrible.
It's so weird in that film because like Jeff Goldblum is like ridiculously hot in Independence Day, and Independence Day 2 he's evolved into like the kind of the weird Jeff Goldblum we have now, and it's just so bizarre
Didn't-
that it's the same character.
That's the same thing happened in the second Jurassic World, didn't it?
But he's barely in it. He's literally in it for like
Yeah,
half
but
a
he's
scene.
still like the now kooky girl.
They try and keep it down because he's like giving a speech at like a court hearing or something.
Yeah,
so he
he's
doesn't
speaking
have
for-
as much like wow. Whereas in
I'm a
he's
girl.
not
Being
really
some,
too.
Not that they
He's
didn't
like-
totally abuse that in the marketing.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
and
he's
actually,
everywhere in it.
so you know Netflix will give you different images for movies depending on what it thinks your preferences are. It has identified me and Lissa as Jeff Goldblum fans because for the Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom thumbnail, it's just a big picture of Jeff Goldblum,
They know.
despite the fact
They
he's only in
know.
it for 5
That's
minutes.
clever, isn't it? That is clever that they're doing that. That they can literally target you with an image, like even if that person isn't even in the movie that much. It's
Dark,
mental.
dark magic.
It is
Yeah.
mental.
Do you think so for me, like Jeff Goldblum in 2020 is like there's a parallel universe where hot Jeff Goldblum evolved into hot old Jeff Goldblum and it was all quite sort of normal. But we exist in a weird forked reality where someone like got a moonstone too close to Jeff Goldblum and he evolved into funky Jeff Goldblum that we have.
Yeah, he's kind of like jazzy Jeff Goldblum, isn't he? Like he's got
Yeah,
his jazz on the side, and he's kind of like also
I mean,
I'm Jeff
if have the
Goldblum.
choice between a universe with like hot old Jeff Goldblum or weird old Jeff Goldblum, I'm taking weird old
Yeah,
Jeff
no,
Goldblum.
I love
Yeah.
him. His album is actually good.
Yeah,
Yeah, Kieran listened to it obsessively last year and would sing it all the time.
Absolute corker.
I went-
He does My Shadow and Me.
I went to go and see him at Glastonbury, and he was so good. So good. His half of his set was interacting with the crowd. It was just like half a stand-up gig, and then like he played some jazz.
Goldblum.
It was great. So good.
Man, myth, legend. All right, Danny, I
wrap
interrupted
it
you,
up.
ending the podcast.
All right. Well, yeah, I
in a
tried to
succinct
sound. I
way.
tried to sound the the obligatory Hans Zimmer klaxon on the end of this podcast, which sounds something like this. And that.